the unknown surprising facts about Cleopatra, the hidden true face of the last queen of ancient Egypt. Hello, everyone. Today I will share with you some surprising facts about Cleopatra, the last queen of ancient Egypt, that you did not know. Cleopatra is famous for her beauty and intelligence, but actually, she is very different from what we imagine her to be. Now, let's go back in time 2,000 years and discover Cleopatra's hidden true face. Cleopatra was not actually Egyptian. She was a Macedonian of Greek descent and a native of the Ptolemaic dynasty. She was a descendant of a dynasty founded by Alexander the Great's men. Cleopatra had amazing language skills. Cleopatra is said to have spoken a whopping 7 to 9 languages. She spoke not only Egyptian, Greek, and Latin, but also Hebrew and Arabic. Using these language skills, he was able to negotiate directly with foreign envoys without the need for an interpreter. She was truly a diplomatic genius. Cleopatra's side as a cosmetics developer. Cleopatra herself developed cosmetics and perfumes. She is also said to have authored a book on beauty. This book, called Cleopatra's Beauty Book, is said to have described how to take care of her skin and hair. For example, there was a recipe for hand cream using rose petals and almond oil. It seems to be still applicable today. Cleopatra's talent as a scientist. Cleopatra was also a brilliant scientist. She was particularly adept at alchemy and medicine, and she also researched poisons. But she didn't just make poisons. She also worked on developing antidotes. Her scientific talent was highly regarded by the scholars of the time. Cleopatra was the author of the world's first book on obstetrics and gynecology. Cleopatra is said to have written the world's first book on obstetrics and gynecology. The book contained detailed information on women's health and childbirth. For example, the signs of pregnancy and safe birthing practices. It is amazing that she had the foresight to scientifically consider women's health more than 2,000 years ago. The true story of Cleopatra's encounter with Caesar. The meeting between Cleopatra and Caesar. In fact, that famous episode may be a creation. You have probably heard the story that she was rolled up in a carpet and brought to Caesar. But there is a strong possibility that this is a legend created in later times. In reality, there must have been more political gamesmanship involved. Cleopatra was not only a beautiful woman, but also a great strategist. Cleopatra's relationship with Antonius. The relationship between Cleopatra and Antonius was actually more than just romance. At the foundation of their relationship was a strong political alliance. They joined hands for their mutual national interests, but at the same time, they were friends who enjoyed intellectual conversation. They loved to discuss literature and philosophy. They were truly a beautiful and intelligent couple. The truth about Cleopatra's last days. Cleopatra's last days, in fact, may not have been a zero side by Aspes. It is a famous story that she was bitten by an Aspes and zero side. But there is a high possibility that this is also a later creation. Cleopatra was an excellent toxicologist. If she had really chosen to do so, she would have known a more reliable and less painful method. The truth of her end remains a mystery. Cleopatra's influence lingers today. Cleopatra's influence has reached into modern times. In movies and dramas, Cleopatra is often portrayed as a beautiful and seductive woman. But in reality, she was a much more complex and intelligent person. Recently, Cleopatra is also being reevaluated as a pioneer of feminism. Her rise to power in a male-dominated society and her contributions to the development of science and culture are a source of great courage for women. Today, well, ladies and gentlemen, what did you think of these amazing facts about Cleopatra? You have discovered that the historical figure we thought we knew was actually much more complex and fascinating. Let's now consider what we have learned in a little more depth. First, the fact that Cleopatra was not Egyptian. What does this tell us? It shows us how cosmopolitan the ancient world was and how much cultural exchange there was. It is very much in keeping with today's global society. And the fact that it overturns the commonly held beliefs about her beauty. This tells us the danger of stereotyping our historical figures. That it is not only their outward appearance, but also their inner charm and talent that counts. This is a lesson that applies to us today. Cleopatra's linguistic ability and scientific talent show that she was a lifelong learner. Her constant search for new knowledge, despite her position of power, may be something that today's leaders can learn from. And then there are the medical books she authored and the stories of her cosmetic developments. These show that Cleopatra was not just a politician, but also contributed to the development of science and culture of her time. Perhaps leadership means contributing to society in various fields. This new perspective on the relationship with Caesar and Antonius tells us that history is always multifaceted. The fact that there was not only romance, but also political gamesmanship and intellectual exchange, illustrates the need for a deeper understanding of history. Finally, the fact that Cleopatra's influence has reached the present day. This shows that history is not a thing of the past, but continues to have a profound impact on the present and the future. How did you all feel about this? Through Cleopatra, we were able to consider the depth of history and its impact on the present day. What was the most surprising fact about this video? What aspects of Cleopatra did you most identify with or find interesting? Last but not least, remember that history is always open to new discoveries and interpretations. Like Cleopatra, each of us is a complex and multifaceted being and should never be judged by stereotypes. And if you think this video is good, please subscribe to our channel. See you next time. Bye.